Hey everyone, welcome back to the Bimmer barn. Today we're going to be replacing the parking brake handle on my E53 X5, and first we're going to head to the junkyard to get one for a good deal before we head back home and install it in my car. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get right into the video. So out of the whole yard, I think I'm gonna choose this X5 as my donor. Funny enough, it has the same interior that I should have in my X5. So this, I think, is a facelift model. And the first thing I wanted to do was pull out this storage cubby because I really want to use one of these in my X5. It has so much more space compared to the one that just holds discs. But we're gonna put that aside. We're gonna start tearing apart this center console really quick. I'll learn how to do it, and that way I'll be able to show you guys at home how to do it without breaking any clips or missing any screws. So let me go ahead and take care of that really quick. We have to get the center console out in order to get to the parking brake, and once we've done that, we should be good to go. Look at that. Oh no. Wouldn't that be funny if that was full? No, that is broken. So anyways, let me go ahead and pull that out. And with a couple of jump cuts, we have got our parking brake handle. And like I said, this one's in much better condition than the one in my X5. So all we need to do now is head on up to the front, pay for this and our new cubby, of course, and then we'll go ahead and start installing it on my X5. Eventually. And so here we have the e-brake handle and also my storage compartment. We're not going to install this today though because it is pretty gross looking. I think I need to strip out all the gunk and paint that's inside of it and repaint it. But the parking brake looks like it's in great condition, just a little bit of surface rust. And I got both of these items here for free thanks to, I guess, our friends at the junkyard. They see me there so often. They went ahead and let me keep these for free. I think they were busy with other stuff, but we're going to go ahead and start installing this now. And I'm going to start by showing you how to remove the center console. Now what we want to start off by doing is removing some of the components that are hiding the hidden screws, specifically under the emergency lights up here, and then there should be a couple more, 4 more actually, underneath the storage cubby. The storage cubby is really easy. It literally just pops straight up and out. You see all that wasted space with that CD rack. And the screws here, pretty easy to spot, 1 and 2. And then you need to remove the 2 that are holding the air conditioning vent. So there's 1 and 2 right there as well. And then this one, good thing my shift boot's already broken. I'm gonna shove my finger back behind here, push up on the switch, remove the connector on the back end, and then we've got access to one last screw. So let's go ahead and remove those screws, and then we'll move on to the ones on the side. Now while we were working up here, I also removed the boot for the e-brake and the shift boot. That's gonna make it a lot easier to get this thing up and out of the way. But like I said, the next thing we need to do is get the screws on the side. And the first one we need to get is up here at the front. It's just a standard Phillips head screw, and that's gonna allow us to get this piece off. We also need to remove the rear carpet piece as well, and there's one clip for it right here. So we're gonna start by removing the rear one first actually, and then unclipping the front here, and then that screw, and we should be able to slide it out. And then the same thing over on the other side. And while we're up here, the last screw we have to get for the actual dashboard is going to be this Phillips head right here. There's one that's on the back end as well, and that's why we started to remove this rear carpet. So we'll move back there in a second, but let's go ahead and remove that first. And now there are a couple of electrical connectors that we're gonna want to disconnect. This one I think is for the cigarette lighter, and then there's another one kind of tucked away here. It's already loose, so I'm gonna go ahead and pull it forward. And it's got a locking connector right there. So I think those are the only 2. Actually, there's one more, and that is this one right here for the AC duct, which we're going to unplug here. So we'll disconnect that, and now we should be safe to remove the AC duct and the last couple of screws. And we do need to move the front seats forward, so we'll go ahead and do that in order to have access to most of those screws back there. And with those last bits removed, our last screw is going to be the one all the way down at the bottom here, that Phillips head, one on either side. And then we should have the center console loose. And since we disconnected all the other cables, we should just be able to route it out of the car, and then we'll have access to everything underneath. Now we've got the console off, but we do need to remove this compartment blower here. If your car doesn't have one, it's as simple as removing the clip up here. Remove this thing. And so that's just one piece for me. If you don't have the blower, it would be the entire unit right here. But mine, I have two more screws to get. I think it's either a 10mm or an 8mm, and they're kind of hard to see, but they come in from the sides. So two of those screws, and I should be able to remove this thing, and then we'll have access to the 3 bolts for the handbrake lever. And look, I was able to get it all the way up into this position here, and I'm not sure I'm gonna be able to release it. I'm gonna have to use all my strength. Now with the air duct or blower motor out of the way, there are a few more things to getting this e-brake handle out. So we're gonna go ahead, make sure it's released all the way, and there's a 9mm and a 12mm nut here, and these are interlocked, so you need to break them free. Actually, this one's already broken free here, as you can see. So we should be able to, there you go. This one's already loose. Let's see if this other one's loose as well. No, these ones are locked on each other, I think. Nope, they're not locked on very well. So we're going to be able to remove these by hand. And then there is a little parking brake switch. So we go ahead and push down on this copper clip, and then we should be able to pull the wire out. So that's done. Don't forget to reinstall that later so you have a working handbrake switch. And then the 3 bolts, of which one is under this plate here, so you need to remove both of these 13mm. One is back here, you can see that 13mm, and then another one is right here. It's kind of hard to see, especially with the carpet there. I try to lift it up as much as possible, but we're gonna put a socket on an extension down there to get that 13mm, and then we should be able to get this out of the car. And now when we put the e-brake handles side by side, we can have a much better look at the serrated teeth. The ones on mine are, of course, completely worn down. It looks like maybe it slipped once and probably just chewed through the teeth. But the new one looks like it's a lot better condition. So I think we're gonna go ahead and put a little bit of grease on the teeth to make sure that it doesn't prematurely wear down. I think it already had some factory stuff, but it's pretty dried up. And then we're gonna go ahead and install it inside of my X5, reinstall the center console, and we'll be all good to go. And there you have it. We are about 90% of the way done. I just have to install these carpet pieces, but I wanted to show you guys that our e-brake handle's installed really sturdy and really quiet too. Listen to this. So I think because I added a little bit of grease in the gears there, it's just a little bit more of a suppressed noise. So not a satisfying click, but more of a luxurious pull up. So I hope that this video helped you out with replacing the e-brake handle or perhaps removing the center console on your X5. And if it did, be sure to leave a like or maybe a comment down below, especially if you have any questions, and subscribe to the channel if you're new and you haven't yet. As always, I hope you guys have an amazing day, and we will see you next time.